Hey everybody, welcome to the ZBN podcast. This is episode 26. I'm Spiegelwee, your host. With me, Hexstupidudot.
Hello.
Zubber.
Hi.
And, oh gosh. Oh, we have stuff to talk about today because this is a podcast where we do stuff.
We talk about things.
Okay, so a lot of people have been very upset with me because they're like, where's Omni? Why isn't he on the new show? And I'm like, well, this isn't a show with Omni on it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was the guy?
I don't know.
He posted like 7 comments, and I have to ask if he was being facetious or not, because I thought he was being facetious the entire time. So
I'm pretty sure he unsubscribed from the channel.
Let us know, man.
Because Piddle and I did a show on our own called Effortless. Go check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's a show about games and
Please
stuff.
Please excuse the Comic Sans. I did not know that was going to happen.
The whole joke of it was that it was supposed to be like low production on purpose. So I chose Comic Sans because you remember back in the early days of YouTube when people would just use Windows Movie Maker and put up a video of like pictures of their cat with that like that classical music behind it. I couldn't find that classical music, but I did find the color of the screen, and I did find the Comic Sans. So that was the idea. So for all the people ripping me for using Comic Sans, it was a joke, people. Get over it. So that was one of the new shows that we've debuted over the last couple days. By the time you listen to this, there's going to be another one up called 8-Brit, and it stars our very own Chris, and making his debut on our channel, Cake Man, or Dan as we know him. He wrote a little bit for the ZB.net back in the day. It's going to be. I hope it's going to be a funny show. Do you guys think it's going to be funny? I haven't heard it yet.
I don't know, but it's Dan, so it's going to be something.
It's going to be something. Go check it out if you're listening to this. Not right now. Listen to our show first.
For those of you who don't know Dan, he's something.
You're in for something indeed. Okay, so yeah, we got those 2 new shows, Effortless and 8-Brit. It's going to be really cool. We're looking to diversify the channel and what we have to offer people. And all of our different varieties of shows can be found on our YouTube channel, so subscribe to it. You won't miss a single thing. All right. We got the technicalities out of the way. We've already joked around a little bit about Comic Sans and stupid things.
Please don't keep the Comic Sans. I hate Comic Sans.
See, here's the thing. Why does everyone hate Comic Sans so much? Like, I get it's generic and it's like stupid looking, but like I think it's just funny to use it because so many people just have some random hatred for it.
It's not random. It's very well founded. It's just an ugly typeface. It's like Papyrus, only Papyrus is not quite as ugly.
Can I use Impact with the color red?
You could use Impact with the color blue for all I care. Impact at least has the meme value. Comic Sans is just the worst.
I used to use Impact a lot on my videos. I always liked it. Were you going to say something, Zyber, or were you just going to be like, oh, this is a regular episode where Zyber doesn't talk?
I don't know the issue of Comic Sans either.
Yeah, so I don't know. If you were... I don't want to say if you like Comic Sans, sound off in the comments, because nobody actually likes it, but like I just don't get the hate for it. It's like Kirby Air Ride. Like nobody loves that game.
What?
I love that game.
What are you talking about?
There's a lot of people who hate that game. There's a lot of people who do not like that game. I think IGN gave it like a 5.
It's an amazing game.
So
I really like it too. But anyway.
I wish
so maybe it's a bad example. I'll think of something else
Kirby's
better.
Air Ride,
like
Gamecube Virtual Console.
What?
I want Kirby's Air Ride on the Virtual Console.
Yeah, but we're never going to get GameCube games.
No apostrophe S.
Yeah, just Kirby Air Ride. Does he have the angry eyebrows on that cover, by the way?
Yes, he does.
That's awesome. I love America. So speaking of America, here in America we have this thing called March Madness, and it ended like a week ago. But we're just getting started with our March Madness. It's called Marchjora's Maskness. We're gonna have an update at the end of this video, so go check that out. Or you could just like wait, I guess, or you could check it out now. I don't care. Just go. So go vote in the polls. The polls should be in the links to the polls should be in the description of this episode. So, blah blah blah. Go do that.
I don't have to wait till the end.
We're in round 2. Well, I don't know. Just whatever. Other news. We have a lot of news. We recently eclipsed 500 subscribers. So by the time you're listening to this video, we should have our little celebration video up. So go check that out. There's some fun stuff that we're doing, including a couple of giveaways. So if you like free stuff or if you like expensive stuff, go. I can't explain it here. Just go watch the video. So yay, we hit 500 subs. That's really exciting. Anyone have anything to say about this momentous occasion? Omni and I already kind of already talked about it, but Zyber didn't get to say his piece.
I love you all.
How does it feel to be a part of something that like 500 people, man? Like, it's not a lot in the entire internet world, but like, I just think about the fact that I can't even get one person to listen to me in my house, and she's in the room with me, and she just gave me a look.
That's like 5 times the amount of Facebook friends I have.
Tell her to say hi.
Say hi, QJ. Hi. Okay, she made it in. So we got QJ. We got, what did you say? Oh, no, that's mean. So we got QJ's appearance in. Have we made fun of Sonic yet? Maybe we'll do that later.
Okay, let's do that.
So, next piece. Omni, a couple days ago, put up his newest Smashified. Spent many sleepless nights working on that with his deep-voiced friend, who honestly kind of freaks me out.
Why?
I've never heard a voice that deep before. Like, you know how back in like episode 3 we had Tim on and he had a deep voice, and I was like, we need to get a deep voice guy in every show. That guy is like probably the deepest, scariest voice I've ever heard.
In real life, he doesn't look anything like he sounds.
Is he like a little 5-foot white guy with like that weighs like 100 pounds? And
I mean, you can see his photo on his channel. Go look at it.
All right. What was his name again? Everyone go check out his music, because I listened to a little bit of it, and I liked it, but I can't remember his name. Nathanael what?
Platier.
Want to go ahead and spell that for people so they can
P-A. Wait, I messed up already. I give up.
There's an L, isn't there?
All right.
Shut up.
Well, Nathaniel, if you're watching this video, just go ahead and like leave a. Well, you know what we'll do? We'll just put a link to his channel in the description, because we're living in the 21st century and we can like use the internet. We don't need to spell things for people to go look them up in encyclopedias. Plus, I don't think he would even have an entry in the encyclopedia.
Man, I wish YouTube was on the encyclopedia.
Man, I wish we were like actually talking about. This is the most boring introduction to any podcast we've done, because we've just been going for like 7.5 minutes and we've said absolutely nothing.
This is the introduction? I thought it was the whole thing.
Yeah. If you're tired of me,
if you like this episode, you can subscribe to us.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
Subscribe to us on Twitter and like us on YouTube. Facebook us on Google.
And follow us on the internet. So last piece of news, I just wanted to bring this up again. E3's coming up soon. We're like 2 months away, guys. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I don't know, man. No. Ever since Zelda was announced to not be there, I don't know.
Oh, come on. You're such a whiner.
Shut up.
There's going to be plenty of nice stuff there. No, I'm not. I couldn't get the Jigglypuff amiibo. I have much more upsetting things to be upset about than you do.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, shut up. So I just wanted to remind everybody.
I'm still excited about E3. Hopefully Star Fox fills the gap, man. Like, it better. I wanted to remind everybody that we're going to be attempting to do a little bit of coverage of E3. We're definitely going to do live reactions of all the 3 major press conferences. Probably do I was not aware of this.
Yeah, well, you're not going to be a part. You're not going to be a part of it because you don't have to be. Because guess what? I'm an adult and I can edit my own videos. Didn't you see the magnificent work I did with Effortless? Plug. It's gonna have Comic Sans font and everything. So anyway, we're gonna try to at least do reaction videos to the 3 major conferences. Whether or not Omni's involved, you should still watch them, even though nobody watched Effortless, and people unsubscribed after we put it up. But yeah, so there's that. We hope you enjoy our coverage, or our attempted coverage of it. I already took the days off work, so if nobody else is interested in actually doing this with me, you'll at least get my opinions. So I don't know if that's something that people actually want, but whether or not you want it, you're going to get it. So that leads us to the interesting portion of our podcast, maybe, I don't know, where we answer a user question, which we haven't done in a while because there haven't been any really great ones that have knocked my socks off. But I found this really good one, and this one is from Smearg, Smearg.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, Smearg. What's up?
I see you on Twitter a lot.
The question is, what are all of your favorite multiplayer experiences in gaming, both online and local? and I figured this would spur some really nice discussion. So anyone wants to jump in, just go ahead and talk about an experience you had with the game. Let's get some memory sharing going because people really like hearing about our stupid childhoods and stuff.
Well, I mean, for me, lately I've been doing a lot of For Glory on Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. So that's one of the things that I like doing. I guess you can.
How are you doing, by the way? Are you like winning good percentage?
I haven't checked my win rate. I think it's like dead set on 50% win.
Wow.
50% loss. But that was when I last checked. Last time I played, I won like 6 straight matches, and then I lost like 8 straight matches. So there's that. But
how come we don't fight against each other, Omni?
On For Glory? Or in general?
Yeah, or friends online.
I don't know. I haven't been playing with friends that often.
Because he hates us.
Yeah, that's
such a lame person.
Anyways, yeah, For Glory, that's what I've been doing. And there was that one time that I will never forget where I played one match of For Glory, and then I went somewhere else and then checked Twitter, and the person that I fought had tweeted at me. And that will always be a glorious memory in my heart. And I tried to recreate that, but I was on Twitter. I was like, guys, I'm going to be playing For Glory. Try to find me. I didn't find anyone.
No.
It was an anomaly.
How many Twitter followers do you have?
5,300 or something like that.
I mean, you'd think that one of those people would eventually find you. That's so weird.
When that happened, I only had like 3,000. So it's like
only 3,000 followers. Well, you're going to be right up there with Jaden Smith wearing a dress soon.
What? Did that happen?
Okay, I'm sure someone got that joke because it's been trending on Facebook forever, and Jaden Smith has like 1 million followers on Twitter. Not 1 million, more than 1 million.
Yeah, like half a million of those people are following him.
That's always weird when. That's always weird when you say 1 million, like to purposely exaggerate something, and then you're like, actually, it's more than 1 million. It's like 1 billion. He has like 1 billion Twitter followers. There you go. I'm pretty sure there's not 1 billion people that use Twitter. So Omni, is that your favorite that's your favorite multiplayer experience when you played that guy and he tweeted at you?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say favorite, but it was definitely one of the more memorable things.
Yeah, that's cool. One day I hope someone will recognize me on the street and be like, "Hey, Spiegel, you suck." I'm like, "Yeah, it's awesome." So that was online. You want to go local? You want Zybra to have a turn? I can jump in.
Oh, you guys talk about something. It's not about me.
For online for me, online is not something I generally do a lot. Just because it's not really for me. I like having people in the room with me when I'm playing a game. But one of the best online experiences I ever had, I had Mario Strikers Charged for Wii, which is a really super good underrated game. And it was actually probably one of the best Nintendo online games that they've ever made, just because the connection was so solid. It's right up there with Mario Kart 8 in terms of the connection quality. And this was of course back when you could play that game online. And I remember I played like 15 or like 20 matches in a row with this one guy, and we just kept going back and forth and back and forth. And it was just it's a really great game. So it was just fun to play such a great game online with a guy who had similar interests to me. And this probably sounds really lame to anyone listening, but it's just, I don't know. I just have a really good memory of it. And it was fun. And
remember that one time where we were playing online and you were Samus and I was Fox?
Yeah. That was an unbelievable. I wish we had saved that. That's the kind of thing that we could upload to this channel and people would be like, "Wow, that was an epic match. You guys suck really at Smash Brothers."
Epically stupid because like we were just jumping around, like trying to play mind games with each other.
Mind games were paramount.
A minute straight. We didn't attack. We didn't touch each other. It was just, man, it was silly.
Unbelievable.
You should have saw when my friend and I played. I think we were both Jigglypuffs. We were both tooling something like that, and it was pretty much just us running around because we couldn't hit each other because we knew each other's patterns and such.
Yeah,
you know you've been playing too long when you can start to recognize people's play styles and play patterns. It's like, okay, time to take a break and play something else because I'm afraid of getting too good at Smash Brothers because then I can't play with my friends because they're like, like my real life friends, because then they're like, well, you always beat me. I don't want to play anymore. And I'm like, well, get better. Get a freaking Wii U.
Do you typically do like 1v1 with your friends, or is it usually like a group thing?
Well, I try to do group as much as I can because it's more accessible. Sometimes I throw my amiibo in there so I have like something for them to beat up on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, typically when I'm doing group, I I tend to just attack whoever has the least damage. So it ends up like kind of evening the playing field throughout the match. And oftentimes I don't win, but I'm not really like trying super hard to win. I'm just trying to like get the most damage given, basically. So yeah, it can be fun to kind of like change up your goals when you're playing group Smash.
Yeah. So Zyber, what were you saying before we interrupted you again?
I was just talking about Smash Bros. 2. And when you were all like, oh, you're playing for too long when you see people's patterns, well, I guess I play too long after 30 minutes because I'm really good at finding out people's patterns.
Well, good for you.
Zyber is one of the better ones in our group of Smashers.
You can tell that I seriously suffer from this desire to be better than people, but this unwillingness to actually like put in the work to get there, especially with Smash Brothers. Like I always get mad when I lose a lot, and I lose a lot. Like if any of our fans like added me, I said a couple weeks ago, like you could all add me. My friend, my NNID is Spiegelwee on my Wii U, and people added me. And I'm like, if I ever play these people, like they're gonna find out how bad of a loser I am. And I don't know. So I try. I don't play online just because if it's not in person, I tend to get more angry more easily.
Well, I think I'll go ahead and talk about one of my favorite local multiplayer things, and it also has to do with Smash Bros. So pretty much, well, I've been playing Smash Bros. Since like middle school with different friends throughout the year, starting with Melee, then Brawl, and back to 64, and then 4 and such. So last year in the spring, my friend and I were all like, we're going to get really good and hold a tournament and stuff in the summer. And so we pretty much did. Like, we played practically every day. And he would find YouTube videos about how to play better as Toon Link. And then I would get used to those and beat him. And then I decided to finally play as other characters instead of just Zelda. So then he got better against other characters. And so, like, a month into this, his brother tries to play with us. And he's all like, what the crap? You guys are way too good now. So then we pretty much just got really good, and over the summer we did the tournament. We got like second place technically. Like a group of people came together and they beat us, and then our group was second to them.
So you set up this tournament and like a bunch of people came? Like it wasn't just like oh, we're gonna have a bunch of people over at our house and we're gonna play Smash Brothers. But you actually
we had an actual tournament, and it was a fundraiser for tornado recovery.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe one day the ZBN can do its own fundraiser. I always thought like it would be really cool for me to stay up for like 3 days and like play through all the Zelda games like people do. You know, like, is this ringing a bell for anybody?
I mean, I'm aware of people who do that. I've never watched it.
That's always something I've kind of wanted to do for some reason, like just to see, you know, how much money I could raise for a cause just by playing a video game. Like, I don't know. I want to use this power for good instead of evil like I currently do.
Like how Zelda Dungeon does their Zelda-thon thing.
Is that Zelda Dungeon that does that?
It's Zelda Dungeon, and then another group that's apparently oriented with Zelda Dungeon. Yeah,
so that's kind of the thing I'm talking about. Like, if one day Piddle and I can do 52 games in 52 weeks for charity, like, that would be awesome. But
that kind of stuff is a lot better to have a group of people talking with you, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
watching people who live stream by themselves is often very boring. So.
I would guess probably because at some point it would become like a filibuster on the Senate floor where some guy's just talking for like 13 hours and then his voice starts to break and he's like, oh crap, I have to pee. And then, he's like, oh, I guess that's it for me.
Like I've been playing these games for 3 days straight. Yeah. What is wrong with me?
Yeah. So that's local for you. I guess I'll go. I was going to do Smash Brothers 2, but that's literally all we've talked about so far. I think that speaks volumes about how good of a multiplayer game Smash Brothers really is. But I am going to go local with Mario Party. And that's because when I was a kid, I was so lonely. I would play Mario Party by myself with 3 other computers, and I had 4 N64 controllers. And at the very end, I would like switch them all to humans, like just so I could get all the rewards, like all the coins and the stars and stuff. And eventually I made friends, and then they all came over and we all played Mario Party 3. And it was just like, we stayed up all night. We just played Mario Party 3. And it was just so much like punchy fun, and it was hilarious. And I never forget those times because it was just, formative years, as they say, and we spent it playing. I spent my formative years playing Mario Party 3. So, yeah, that's my local experience.
Well, for me lately, I've been playing a lot of Nintendo Land whenever we have people over, because oftentimes I have
we do that a lot.
Aren't really gamers per se, but they enjoy and they can play Nintendo Land. I cannot say that name properly for some reason.
Nintendo Land.
Anyway,
can I just interrupt you while you try to get yourself back together?
Sure.
Nintendo Land is really good at that. Like I will often knock Nintendo Land for the stuff that it is not good at, but one thing I will totally give it credit for is bringing non-gamers into it. Like it's as good as Wii Sports at that. It's probably a little more advanced. There's a little more explanation to do. Like, so you can't play with your grandma, but you can play it with like your best friend who is like, not senile. And
I have a lot of senile.
Is that mean? Friends. Is that a mean thing to say? I don't know. Oh well, I'm mean Spiegel now, so it's fine.
But yeah, one of the other games that I've been playing a lot recently with friends is Rayman Legends, which is a great multiplayer co-op platformer, and that can be very fun.
Yes, it is.
We play a lot of Kung Foot. That is a great little mini game that they put into that game. It's so much fun. Is that the
soccer one?
Yeah, it's so cool. Like, typical. It's so funny. I love how over the top the game is.
I know Deg is a really big fan of the Rayman Legends multiplayer too. Like, I think he has YouTube videos of him and his friend playing it really badly, and they're pretty funny. So
yeah, there was this one moment in that game where we were trying to. It was like one of those challenges where you have to get to the ending within like 40 seconds, otherwise they'll start launching the teensies away. And we were playing with my roommate's girlfriend, who is not a gamer. So it's amazing how much time you can spend on a single challenge just trying it over and over and over again. And I remember like thinking back to the days where I was playing Break the Targets on Smash Bros. And I would like
break the targets.
I would get so good at pressing pause and hitting the Z button to retry because I'd missed, like, you'd make a mistake and you have like this muscle memory pattern down, and as soon as you make a mistake, you would know it's time to hit start and press Z. In like
I would do the same thing in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater when I would be going up the ramp and like I'd screw up on my first trick. I'd be like, well, no, I'm done. Yeah.
Also, we were playing event matches on Smash Wii U for the first time with my roommate Phil, and that friggin' that Game & Watch one where you have to stop them from landing on.
Yes.
That is way too hard.
My friend and I,
am I just bad at the game? Because like it's ridiculous.
No,
like, all the other hard challenges are not that hard.
It took my friend and I think probably 150 tries, and then we finally got it, and it was just like, well, we wasted 6 hours.
Yeah, we wasted like 3 hours. The one where Game & Watch is like trying to land on the Lilat tour or whatever.
Oh, when you're Fox and Falco.
Yeah, I hate how like sometimes you hit them and it does nothing.
Yeah, like, with their forward air, because it's like a consecutive multiple attacks.
Yeah,
and the first
that's garbage.
Actually hit them anywhere. Yeah.
Screw you, Nintendo.
My friend and I were able to do it on his Wii U, but I haven't been able to do it on my Wii U yet.
I mean, I can't imagine what it'd be like. I mean, I imagine that's not one of the events that you can do solo, but...
No, you can do solo. Well, no. I did it solo, too.
You can?
I mean, there is a solo version, but...
It's easier, though.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, it's especially hard when... the person you're playing with isn't good at either Fox or Falco, like because
well, the other thing is you have to coordinate it, right? Like you have to say, okay, you need to stick to this side. Do not come over here and try to help me. If I screw up, I'm sorry, but you can't come over here and help because then you're gonna miss something on your side. Like because as soon as you
we got to the system where we were like calling out the color of the Game & Watch that we were going after. And so every now and then, like he'd be on the far edge of the stage and he wouldn't be able to like get the second one because they were falling simultaneously, like straight horizontal parallel with each other, and it was annoying. So I would have to go in, like run, do my dash attack right before they hit the ground, then jump back, hit this guy on the top, and then fast fall as fast as possible while doing my up air to hit this next guy. And I was just like, why is this?
This is why I love local multiplayer so much, and why I love Nintendo, because they put a focus on this like being really important in games. They make sure that like the local experience is going to be enjoyable before they work on the online. And while some people may think that's archaic, I think the local experience is honestly a lot more important. I will always take a local experience over an online one because I feel like it's I feel like sharing something with the person on the couch next to you is just like a really important thing to have in gaming, because it's like, you know, you don't want to just experience everything by yourself. You want to have someone there with you, and just that personal connection that you get by being in the same room. I feel like I'm on a talk show. Is just like I think it's a really important dynamic to have in video gaming. It's just because like that's how they're designed. They're meant to be like, those games are meant to be played together. And if you're separated, it's just not quite the same.
Shay, you are on a talk show.
This is not a talk show. No, it's not.
Basically a talk show.
No, it's really not. What I meant to say was, I feel like I'm on like Dr. Phil or something, and I'm explaining, or you know, one of those crappy things.
Something interesting is that one time while my friends and I were playing, we were just sitting on a couch talking to each other. Someone that lived with them for the moment came down, and she was trying to have a conversation with us, and she's all like, how can you have a conversation when you're looking at the TV screen? And we're all like, we don't have to look at each other's faces to talk.
Have you noticed that old people like don't know how to function like when technology's in the room? They're just like, I don't understand how you can even do this. And I'm like, because my brain has been trained to operate on this level. I guess yours has not.
Well, yeah. She wasn't old, but
I'm just saying, like, in general, like, it's weird how you can't explain to an older person how to play a game like Nintendo Land, like I was talking about earlier. Like, they have to be your age and they have to be able to get it. Like, I don't know why it doesn't work, and that's why Wii Sports was such a weird revelation, I guess.
I think that depends on the old person in the game.
Maybe I'm generalizing too much, but that's how every old person in my life has ever been with games. So.
It's also interesting to play with people who aren't gamers, even if they're the same age as you. Like, we know intuitively when we play a platformer, the jump button's probably going to be the one on the right side of the 4-button thing.
And you kind of know the physics, too.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, so here's how I move around, and here's how I jump. And then whatever, like, key gameplay component there is, other than jumping, that's going to be the one other button right next to that where my thumb is already there, basically. And it's funny that you have to, like, every time you swap out a game, even if they're all platformers, you play 4 different platformers, people who play games, they know the basics, like, right away, but then you have to explain the same button doing the same function in each game for a person who hasn't played very many games. It's kind of funny to me. Like, obviously jump is going to be that one that you've been pressing to jump in the other 16 games that we've tried. So it's just a little funny to me. I mean, it makes sense.
Until you play Japanese games.
Or you play those old NES games that use B to jump or up to jump. It's like, what are you doing?
Just R to jump. Hit L to punch.
Could you imagine
to open your menu?
Like, what if there was a fighting game that came out, like Mortal Kombat comes out in 2 days from when we're recording this. Like, imagine Mortal Kombat came out and like everything you knew about the control system was completely changed. Like, wouldn't that would just piss everybody off, don't you think?
I think it would be a fun game where it randomly generated the button map.
Oh, for every
every
match.
time you load it up, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Someone should make this happen.
Hey, while we're talking about what's that?
No, go ahead. I was gonna say something stupid, probably.
Oh, good. Anyways, while we're talking about multiplayer stuff, are there any games that you've seen recently that you haven't played but you'd be interested in playing, and they have like a large multiplayer, like couch multiplayer component?
That is a very dangerous question you just asked me, because I have a 200 game backlog. I could tell you any of these games. Okay,
well, I'll start then.
Okay.
There's this Wii U eShop game that's coming out. It might be on other platforms as well, but it's called Runbow. Have you seen a trailer for Runbow?
I think you freaked out about that during the sizzle reel in the Nintendo Direct, but I was like,
no, that wasn't it.
Okay.
But basically, it's a 9-player Wii U game where it's kind of like Super Smash Brothers, but only running and your up B attack for if you were like Fox. So you have like this one attack that you can use as a recovery, and everyone's a different color, and all of these platforms throughout the level are also a different color, and the background changes color constantly throughout the match, and you're basically racing to get to the finish. But when the background changes, anytime there's a platform that matches the background color, that platform no longer exists. So they're constantly like changing all of these different platforms based on whatever color they are, and you're just trying to get to the end, and every now and then you, like, for some reason you get swapped with another person on like another person's location, and it looks crazy fun, and I really want to play it.
What you're describing to me sounds like those beat blocks levels in the Super Mario 3D games. Do you remember what I'm referring to?
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
A bit like that. Except instead of basing it on sound, you're basing it on like color matching. And I get excited about anything that has color theory mixed in with it because I'm an artist and stuff like that. But
because you're a light nerd.
Yeah,
You really like light.
Don't you know the primary colors are red, green, and blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever had someone try to tell you that black is all of the colors?
Well, it is just for not light.
Yeah, but not light, which is what. Well, I don't know. I always feel like I have to correct people on that, and they're like, "But it is though," and I'm like, "Well."
I'm gonna teach my kids that the primary colors are red, green, and blue, and so whenever they go to school and they're taught that it's yellow instead of green, they're gonna get so confused, and I'm gonna be hated by my children for the rest of my life. That was a good story.
That's lovely.
Wait, what?
That's like those people that try to get their kids to be
What
bullied.
are you talking about?
What do you mean?
I'm going to teach my kid. I'm going to teach my kid the wrong thing so that they'll be made fun of,
not
and then
wrong.
they'll hate me.
It's correct in the wrong respect, which is just as useless. But still,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I totally lost. All right.
Well, I'm not
now lost.
What
was your question again?
Multiplayer games that you have not played but are interested in playing, like couch multiplayer specifically.
Zyber, you go. I'm still looking around.
The Borderlands pre-sequel.
Ooh,
that was such a
Borderlands is
response.
such a
they'll probably get
cool
the
niche
PC
game.
version.
Have you seen the stuff for the Telltale? Like, are you interested in playing that Telltale games? Like,
No, I'm not.
I mean, it's a completely different genre, as I understand. But
I'm actually really interested in the Handsome Jack collection because apparently it'll be able to have 4 people instead of just 2 on the couch playing.
Huh.
It just requires a PS4, Xbox One.
Yum.
So I'm going to go with, this is kind of a cheap answer because I'm probably just going to play it by myself anyway. But Gears of War 2. I just beat Gears of War probably about a week ago. And I may have talked about this. I don't remember. But Gears of War was a really enjoyable experience for me. And I didn't play online. I didn't play. I just played through the campaign. And it was just really enjoyable. And I'd like to try it again and experience it with a friend just because there's a lot of stuff in that obviously requires co-op play because you always have another person with you while you're playing that game, but he's just controlled by a dumb computer. So I'd like to try it with a friend because I feel like that would even enhance the enjoyment of it a lot more, unless he's really bad, which would probably make it a lot more frustrating. But either way, I think that's a good thing.
I do enjoy playing Halo with friends.
So at any rate, I'll probably try Gears of War or Gears of War 2 with a friend, and we'll see how that goes. I don't really have a lot of multiplayer games in my collection. As much as I say I like playing local multiplayer, I just don't really have a lot of people that are willing to do that. So the ones that I do have are like, the classics like Time Splitters 2 and Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. And people are laughing at me right now, even as I say this.
That 200cc though, man.
Yeah, 200cc. I'm still reeling from that. I still think it's an April Fool's joke.
What? No, it's going to be fun. And I'm going to suck at it. And then Sai is going to beat us up.
Yeah, I'm ready. Freaking Sai.
8-Brit is up.
Freaking Canadians. What's
Wait,
up?
It's up right now?
8-Brit is now up.
As we speak?
Oh,
as we are recording this?
This is big news.
Yes.
Okay, so breaking news. It doesn't matter. This isn't going to be posted till like Tuesday probably. But breaking news, 8-Brit is up. Go watch it. So the thing I said earlier in the episode is now for sure true. 8-Brit is up.
It's kind of weird
wait.
how...
I can't wait to watch it and be like, well, I can't believe I greenlighted this.
I'll watch it after I finish recording. Anyways,
yeah.
On the subject of local multiplayer, it's a bit sad to me how so many games are focusing more on online play and not even including any sort of local multiplayer component.
Is there a specific game that you're thinking of that does this? I know Call of Duty is not really thought of as a local game.
I think not specifically. I think Destiny is that way.
Oh yeah,
but that's more of like an MMO. But I think it's cool that so many indie developers are kind of stepping up and creating games that are exclusively multiplayer on like local multiplayer. For instance, there's games like Needhog or Starwall, and they're all like really simple games.
Or Runbow, I guess that you mentioned.
Yeah, and they're very distilled, simple gameplay concepts, but they're fun. And maybe it's more like a pick up and play for half an hour and put it down. But it's still cool to see people creating multiplayer games that can foster like really cool friendships from them and cool experiences in person. So I'm actually in the middle of creating a game like that, actually, but I'm not going to say what it is yet.
Can you not talk about it yet?
Maybe.
Is it embargoed?
Yeah. Well, I guess you can call it that.
I don't know. Is there an embargo on indie games? Like, do those developers care about that?
I don't think there's... Well, an embargo, I imagine, has some sort of contract tied to it, right?
I really don't know. I mean, like, I don't know.
Right now, I'm still keeping quiet about it, but I'm helping to develop a game. I'm making art for a game that we're working on with some friends, and it's a multiplayer game, and I hope to be able to show it off pretty soon. So,
cool.
Teaser,
I'm
exclusive
excited.
to the ZBN podcast teaser.
You know,
You have
I'm
reasons
really excited
to listen to
about
this
that.
thing now.
Because everything that you've made that, I really liked Killer Colors. I thought that was pretty addicting.
If that ever gets finished.
Yeah, like we played the demo of that, or I guess it was a beta or whatever, and I really enjoyed Killer Colors. I'd like to see that finished. And then there was the other one that you did that, holy crap, why can't I remember the name of it right now?
Gutsy? You talking about Gutsy?
That's a wonderful name.
What was the name of that game that you did?
Function Repair, Gutsy the Guinea Pig, Hunger Crunch.
So like a
Hunger Crunch.
Hunger Crunch.
Hunger Crunch was the game that I was thinking of. Hunger Crunch. And I thought that was really cool, and I really liked the concept behind it too, which was the other cool thing. I like the indie scene now a lot. Like before Shovel Knight, I was really uncomfortable with it because I'm like, well, why would I want to spend $15 to play this game that looks the same or is just really simple, or is this like it looks kind of like a mobile game? But I was proved wrong, and I'm continually being proven wrong as I continue to play more indie games. Like I impulsively bought Box Boy the other day, which I made fun of during the direct, and I'm like, oh, this is actually really good. I need to stop making fun of indie games so much.
Is it? Isn't that HAL Lab?
Well, okay, it's not. I shouldn't say it's an indie game, but it's $5, and it's structured in a similar way that most indie games are. So I guess I'm wrong to lump that in, but either way, simple, easy to make games are generally associated with indie titles, and I've really underestimated them a lot. Octodad is coming out this summer. That's kind of an indie game started as a student project, and I'm really excited to play that just because it looks really unique, and indie developers bringing a lot of unique stuff to the table right now that big companies are not really doing. And I think that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed.
Well, is that all we have to say about multiplayer?
I mean, we went from multiplayer to indie games. Wow, Smear just gave us an entire episode. And also, I mentioned in the 500 subscribers video that if you give us a user question that we consider really good on that video, you get a chance to win that, and we'll probably structure an entire episode around your question as well, like we just did. So, see, user questions help. They just gave us an entire episode of hopefully interesting content. So, I don't know. You guys have anything left to say? I kind of went on my indie monologue. I think I said everything that needed to be said.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
That's like the epitome of cyber. Yeah. Just like kind of
what he said.
At least you're still here,
Yes.
Okay then. So right after we are done with our outro, we're going to have the Marchjora's Maskness analysis. I do a little solo. I update you on what happened in round 1. I don't know if you all saw the results. You probably did not. So
Nope.
get ready to see those results. You'll see what games won, what games lost, who's moving on, who's not moving on. Okay, and there will also be links to the new polls for the second round in the description. Getting those set up as I finish recording this today, and make sure to vote in the second round of Marchjora's Maskness. And thank you all for listening to this show. Don't forget to leave your user questions. Although if you have a really good one, go ahead and put it on the subscribers video. Don't worry about this one so much. But leave comments if you like the show, like the video, share it with your friends. We love getting new subscribers. Someday I hope to make a 1,000 subscribers thank you video. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Spiegelwee. Omni is at ArtsyOmni. Zyber is at
not
probably
on
doesn't have a Twitter, not on Twitter. And you can also check out Rush the Fort. Check out the new shows that we came up with that we've debuted, Effortless, 8-Brit. Rush the Fort is putting up a new special video called Just for Fun 2. I'm really excited for it because I like those videos. Am I forgetting anything?
The kitchen sink.
The kitchen sink. Oh, yeah. Bitchin' in the kitchen. Check that out.
Right.
King of Segways strikes again.
Yeah. Check out Smashified. It's really cool this week. Not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it yet. So go check out ArtsyOmni's channel. It's very artsy. Go check out Nathanael Platier's I don't know his name. Nathanael Platier's music. He's got a deep voice. He also put up a pickup lines video, so you can try that when you're out on the club. And I think that's it for us. I think we're out. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We'll be back next week with more ramblings and things.
That's what we do best.
Hey everybody, Spiegel here. Just wanted to update you on the goings-on in Marchjora's Maskness, now in April, special April edition of Marchjora's Maskness. We're moving on to round 2. There were some fantastic matchups in the first round. I'm just going to run down every single one, give you the results. First one, we had a very close race, literally coming exactly down to the wire between number 1 seed Metroid Prime and number 8 seed Super Metroid. Super Metroid got a vote to tie it up, but it was too late. It was 9:02 p.m. I already closed down the polls and counted the votes. Metroid Prime wins at 16-15. Next up was 4 seed F-Zero GX versus 5 seed Beyond Good and Evil. F-Zero GX pulling out a victory 15-10. Crash Bandicoot Warped and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze 3-6. First upset of the tournament, Donkey Kong knocks off Crash 16-12. The last matchup in that region, we had Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island defeating Age of Empires 2 19-7. Moving on, further down the bracket, we had the first really, I think, dominant victory of the tournament was The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker defeating Link's Awakening DX 28-0. I'm just letting it sink in for you. 28-0. Wind Waker is a fantastic game. Poor Link's Awakening. It deserved better. Next up was Ape Escape versus Elite Beat Agents. Another slight upset there. Not a lot of people played these games. Elite Beat Agents did come out on top, 14-10. Next, a matchup I was very surprised by the results. Shadow of the Colossus pulling out a victory over 6 seed Kingdom Hearts, 16-12. Then finally, we had Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. I guess this was the other dominant victory. Mario Party did get some votes. Only 3 of them. Smash Bros. Wins 29-3. Next, we had, this one made me sad. It was Resident Evil 4 going up against Chrono Trigger. Not a lot of people voted in this one either. But Resident Evil just slipped up and lost to Chrono Trigger by a vote of 12-13. Next up, another very close match. We had Majora's Mask for 3DS versus Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. 17-16, a win for Majora's Mask 3D. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal loses out to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, only 15-8. Another very low voted on matchup. I probably should have rephrased that sentence because it didn't make any sense. But we're moving on. Fallout 3 losing a close match, 15-12 to Mario Kart 64. Another disappointment for me. And another prediction I believe I got wrong. So that's sad. I don't know the fan base as well as I thought I did. The final division, we had Metal Gear Solid going up against Mother 3. Apparently a lot of people, big fans of Mother 3, or maybe Zyber just voted 13 times. But Metal Gear Solid did pull out the victory 18-13. 4-5 matchup between Shovel Knight and Star Fox 64. Shovel Knight, the more recent game, came out victorious 17-10 over Star Fox 64. Sorry, Chris, all your games are getting eliminated. As in the next matchup, when Okami lost to Kirby Superstar 18-8. Finally, another game that I didn't think would get that many votes, Skies of Arcadia, did not beat Paper Mario, but it was a closer match than I anticipated, 16-11. I think people are just voting games just to mess with me because of the fact that I said there would be no votes for those games, and here they are. They're being voted for. So anyway, thank you all for voting in the first round of Marchjora's Maskness. Of course, we are going to be moving forward into round 2. There are some interesting matchups I wanted to highlight going into round 2. First of which, being in the first region here, we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze squaring off against Yoshi's Island. 2 platformers, 2 very loved platformers, one more recent, one from the past. I personally have not played enough of Yoshi's Island to give it my vote, so I will be voting for Tropical Freeze if any of you care. And so now you can all go vote for Yoshi's Island because you all hate me, I guess. We have Wind Waker versus Elite Beat Agents. I'm afraid that Elite Beat Agents' time in this tournament is a little bit numbered. Its days are numbered. I don't know what I'm saying. It's late at night. Just don't. Whatever. Finally, we have. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm looking at a list. Chrono Trigger Majora's Mask 3D. I think is going to be really interesting to see. Chrono Trigger upset Resident Evil 4. One of my favorite games ever. So if it manages to beat Majora's Mask 3D, probably should get on that and play it. I have not played Chrono Trigger. It's probably the best game ever that I have not played. So you can all rip me in the comments below. One more I thought was interesting was Metal Gear Solid and Shovel Knight. Two games that defeated their opponents. I don't want to say handily, because the Metal Gear Solid Mother 3 was much closer than it probably should have been. But it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. I think the fan base that listens to this is probably going to lean more in the direction of Shovel Knight. But Metal Gear Solid is good, and I think that you should all give it a shot if you have not played it, at the very least. I mean, you don't have to play everything to vote in this tournament. Far from it, obviously. But if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid, give it a shot. And same thing if you haven't played Shovel Knight, because they're both excellent. So those are the interesting matchups that I noticed. Don't forget the links for all the polls. They're going to be up right now. You can go vote in round 2. Vote on all the matchups that I just said, and vote, just on all the matchups there. We got 8 of them for you in this round to determine who moves on to the Elite 8, I guess, of the tournament. So don't forget to vote. You've got until
Monday the 20th
at 10 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, don't forget, because if you do, your vote isn't going to count, and then some horrible game is going to move on to the next round. Vote for Metroid Prime over F-Zero. Thanks everybody. Have a great night.